welcome to Bullet Bill's Big Three. I'm your host Baron Marth, and I'm joined as always by my compadre in arms, the one and only Angry Link. How you doing, buddy?
I don't know, I always struggle to find a way to follow the admiration and the plaudits.
We love you.
Well, someone does at least.
We love you, Link. We love you. So, look, Bullet Bills, this is where we wrap our news of the week. We've come across some of the hot topics. And starting off with our bounty board, the big bounties of the week. What's your first bounty?
Well, it's a big one for me. Been excited for this ever since we saw it, I think, just before last year's E3, wasn't it?
You are super excited about this game. It's got that kind of No Man's Sky kind of buzz for you, sort of thing. Whenever anybody mentions it, you're like, yeah, I know that game.
Yeah, I could say in terms of, not the hype, but, you know, my intrigue.
Yeah.
Is probably the best way to describe it. But yeah, Absolver,
yes.
Yes, so they have released, or they've announced their release date. So that's been locked down. Obviously, Absolver is made by Slow Clap. Do you know how many times I struggled to write that?
Slow Clap.
Yeah. So they're made up of former Ubisoft devs that worked on the likes of Ghost Recon and Watch Dogs 2.
We went a whole day against them.
Obviously, they've left and gone off to make their own game, which is Absolver. So obviously this is the Dark Souls inspired Kung Fu map. That's obviously my genre.
So it's basically, instead of whacking people's swords, you're punching their face.
Yeah.
Punch their face.
And it's got this really intriguing combat system which sort of can flow into different stances.
Cool.
I mean, they've announced the date with a new trailer. So obviously that's showed off some more of the things that you can do to judo chop random internet types come release date. But yeah, so it's looking really exciting.
So is this a day one for you?
I think so, yeah. I mean, when we was talking about this earlier, I said to you that it's a paradigm of a shift of a game for me, because this is a game that I know that I'm not going to really be competitive in, because I've not had much experience with this sort of measured Dark Souls-esque gameplay kind of type stuff, so I'm going to get my ass handed to me numerous times, but I'm still going to keep going back for more. And it's one of those, I very rarely play games that I know I'm not going to be at least somewhat competitive.
So this is actually a big step.
It is a big step.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, I say just to wrap up a bit on the trailer of it, shows off some more of the combat. It goes into a bit more detail how your different stances and combos on those stances
how
can
you
link.
Shift into it and stuff like
exactly. That. And other highlights included the mentoring or Sifu system, and how you sort of be learning new combos and different moves from various enemies and like I say, mentors.
Cool.
So, exciting stuff. Obviously the most important part of the story being the release date, which is August the 29th. So
that's close.
We get some of the summer out of the way. As the nights are drawing in, we get some more Absolver. We start to go around and hopefully partaking's a good word, but I was thinking more sparring.
Ooh, good.
That's where the par come from, I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's coming to PS4 and PC. No word on Xbox One as of yet.
29th of the 8th. I mean, it's what, 3 months away, give or take, you know?
Yeah, it's we're halfway through May now, so yeah, not far away. We know how time goes for us old folk. It'll be like, hey, that's out tomorrow.
Is it Wednesday already?
Yeah, exactly. Is it 2019? Oh god, when did that last 2 days ago?
So do you know what? Absolver is interesting me. It's interesting me from a kung fu-y fight 'em up kind of way. Yeah. I'm not sure about the Dark Souls element of getting my ass whooped repeatedly over and over again.
I don't think it's more. I think it's more the level design.
Yeah.
And how in Dark Souls the level themselves is a character. And how it guides you through the game, and I've read a few articles on it, and there's loads of stuff that goes on about the level design of Dark Souls that will explain it much better than I can.
Yeah, I mean they do a really complex job of like weaving dungeons with mountain tops and this and another.
Well, it's just how there's still stuff to find in those games.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's that element to it in Absolver to get back onto the point and the supposed shining star. But yeah, so looking really forward to that. Obviously I've got Yakuza coming up at the same time as well, so there's some competition.
I don't think so. I think you're going to be all over Absolver.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully it turns out to be the game I would like it to be.
We can yet but hope, Link. We can yet but hope.
So how about yourself? What have you brought to the mix?
Bounty number 2 for this week is got to be, for me, I love this sort of stuff, right? So this is Microsoft revealing some insider statistics, but then releasing it themselves, not being leaked, right? So this is them,
or not an independent review.
Yeah, so they're choosing to show this. So they say this was out of, right, here's a few caveats, and this is where this is going to get a little bit kind of like, but it's not really comparable to our market. It's 2,000 people, and they're US gamers, right? So
if we're talking numbers, like 2,000, should we say sales numbers? Because I think the Xbox One in America has probably got at least 10 million sales. Yeah,
it's no doubt it's got vast quantities.
So we're talking millions.
Vast
whether it be double figures or a single figure, but 2,000 of that. What's the percentage?
Well, and
that's the thing about statistics that I struggle with. But anyway, to not interrupt you.
Well, I think more to the point, it's who does the statistics. This was released by Microsoft, and secondly, how many people did they actually interview, and how many passed
I was just about to say
Euro qualifying as a result test. So because it could be 2,000 out of 8,000 people that they chose to listen to,
or 20,000 or 200,000.
But without being too cynical,
yeah.
In the news they basically said that, who do we expect to be a gamer on average usually?
So your archetype gamer,
stereotypical,
for me,
cliched gamer.
I would look at someone that's around my age, so sort of mid-20s to mid-30s, very much similar to myself. Obviously not a complete immature bastard, but somewhat of one. Very much a freer lifestyle. Obviously, there'll be a mixture of people that have got families and mixtures that are not. But yeah, I'd say that's you're sort of someone pretty much like me.
Right.
I'd like to think I'm
for me, I've maybe I'm a little bit cynical how gaming is perceived in the gaming light, but I tend to think of it more as between sort of 14, maybe 15-year-olds through to sort of like 23-year-olds.
I know what you're talking about. The obnoxious COD crowd.
Yeah. Also, your
maybe lesser so.
Your hardcore stay-at-home Dorito, World of War.
The Mountain Dew Dorito gang.
Yeah, exactly. So I tend to see them a bit like that. Apparently, according to Microsoft, first things first, I also see them as guys.
Yeah, or a very vast proportion of them.
Very much so. Yeah, 42% apparently are female out of that 2,000. Apparently. Also, age range. This I found really interesting. I had it sort of peaked at sort of like early mid-teens to sort of early 20s sort of thing, and then petering off a bit, right? Apparently not. So the largest percentage, which was only 21%, 25 to 34-year-olds. Second, very closely behind it, 20%, was 35 to 44-year-olds. Saying that actually out of the 2,000 they looked at, the majority of them were looking at 25 and older.
So this is a hobby for life, it seems.
Hardcore.
Yeah.
Forget the golf clubs. They also said that this was a bit which sort of really kind of threw me, was that on average their wage was $75,000 or more.
Of the 2,000
that they looked at, yeah. So it just shows that the stereotypes that I was looking at are probably still exactly true, and that Microsoft are just trying to pitch this shit to me. Basically, that's how I see it.
In comes the cynicism.
Look, here's my final thought on this one, right? Taking it with like a pinch of salt that like this is only 2,000 US people, so it's not
a potential 8 or 9 million it could have been.
Yeah, and even if they have or haven't fettled the stats so that they're only getting the sweet spot, you still have to remember this is coming from Microsoft and they're choosing to show you this.
Yeah.
So what are they trying to get you to believe?
It's almost, I look at any statistic and there's the marker of its preposterousness is it's a make-up statistic. Not a made-up statistic, a make-up.
Oh, I thought you meant as in like 32% of statistics are made up there on the spot.
Yeah. But obviously I don't know if it's prevalent around the world, but in the UK we have on our makeup and beauty products adverts, excuse me, I seem to have some amphibian stuck.
I'm sorry about that.
But yeah, at the end of during the advert there'll be a little series of text along the bottom that says percentage of women
Out
of X amount thought this was a great product.
information may not be true or be taken seriously.
But yeah, it's always some little small like random like 256 people, and it's just like, is that how many people actually answered?
How many people applied?
Or is it a case of we need to make it a reasonable looking number, so like 87%. So we'll pick, like you say, 300 people, and we'll pick and just pick certain statistics to fit.
Maybe they're just going for the whole, a random number looks better than an exact number.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing I keep thinking.
Suspect. So,
but there's also another point, is do I really care for the opinions of people that will happily fill out these statistics? Someone stopped you on the street. Could I interest you in just this quick survey, sir?
No.
Exactly. That is the stereotype of every person in the world.
Yeah.
And the people that go, yes, I want to tell you my opinions. Of course I do.
Well,
I don't really care for those people.
I think the important thing for me, and to sum it all up, is that I don't really give a flying monkey's nuts what other people are doing in their houses. I care about what my experience is in my house.
Yeah, that's it. It is pretty much most statistical reviews are bollocks, unless it's of the entirety.
Our work here is done.
Yes.
So
it's the face-off.
It's a face-off. It's a bonus bounty time.
Yes.
Each week we both bring a bonus bounty. Well, in theory, we both bring a bonus bounty, but I've kind of pilfered one of yours this week.
Well, I think it's a case of I just got in there early and snatched up it all and didn't give anyone else a chance.
But you've very kindly given me one, which I've used, and
we had a cigarette afterwards. It was magical.
But you've let me triumph with it. It was 1-0 to you last week.
It was 1-0. It should be 2-0 because as we was discussing this in our little, I suppose you could say, pre-production effort. I was going to steal them both.
Yeah.
But I thought I'll be a gentleman.
Look, I've had it away. I'm keeping it for my own, and it is the Xbox wireless headset has finally, or a Xbox headset has
Did the
finally been announced.
360 ever have one?
I
think you could buy a Total Beach one for like 400 quid or something.
There's always a Total Beach wireless variation like there is on the current one, but this is actually a little bit different. So it's announced by Lucid Sound, who are known for their headsets, not necessarily the best ones, but they're called the it's called the LS35X.
Catchy name.
Yeah, I thought so. I really liked it.
Easily remembered.
Yeah. Reported by Eurogamer, basically, that this thing's coming out, and what makes it slightly different to all the usual wireless headsets that you're used to seeing is that this actually runs off the same Bluetooth control system that's used to control your controllers and all the other stuff. Which
they triumph about how there's no input lag and
all that
input lag, if I can actually speak properly.
But even then, when you've got it wired, you usually either got it wired to your controller or it's wired from some other...
It's wired directly into the
dock thing.
Because I remember there was some on the PS3 that had full 7.1 sound, but you'd obviously have to put the optical cable.
Yeah.
So you've got this fucking great whacking optical cable that if... Some people may have worse memories than others, or some things, they may be ingesting things that affect their short-term memory, could have a potential moment with that, where their PS3, they're testing the durability of cables and the tension of cables and how heavy the PS4 is and how fast you can run.
Before it snaps you back.
Or something happens, yes.
Yeah.
So there was always those ones. But I'm really looking forward to this. I think we've said before that it needs to happen.
Yeah, without a doubt.
It's the only way that it's the only thing that's got me interested in actually buying a twin bucket headset.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I do prefer mine just over the ear, sort of little.
Just the one. It's like an actual headset.
Yeah.
As opposed to a pair of headphones with a microphone.
Where you're completely secluded from the room.
Yeah, and that's when just loved ones and spouses, or even the family pet, can somehow manage
your face.
Not that just cause you to have a series of moments where you think, is this the time I'm having a cardiac arrest?
Yeah, am I having a stroke?
Yeah.
Is there something going on?
Yeah.
One of the good things about the headset, it's compatible with both your Xbox One, but also a little bit future-proofed because it's going to work with the Scorpio as well.
Well, I think this is the thing, isn't it? it's going to be announced in sort of, or it's coming at the same sort of time. So it's going to be billed as the next generation Scorpio headset.
Well,
but
that's
it does
the
still
release
work.
date, isn't it? It's fall 2017, which actually means Christmas, really, end of the year, December.
Yeah, Black Friday sort of time.
I mean, all in all, it looks pretty good. I mean, from the image that I saw of it, it looks quite nicely made.
It looks a tiny. It's the kind of pair of headphones you wouldn't mind having sort of just on a stand, just on the side by your console or something like that. Whereas some of the headsets, they're somewhat garish, and you think, no, I'll put them away in the cupboard so someone doesn't think I'm 5 years old.
Yeah.
You know, I want the big bright green one with the flashy light.
Yeah.
But no, exciting stuff. So have we got any sort of price talk at all yet?
I haven't seen anything on price, but for me personally, if this thing's going to sit anywhere, it's got to be around the 150 and below.
Elite controller kind of money. It's going to be billed as that kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
the elite headset.
It doesn't need to be breaking the 150 ceiling, put it that way. But interesting times. Looking forward to end of the year. Saying that though, in between, I've still got my Turtle Beach sat behind me, and it does its job very well. So
it's one of those things. It can't be more than or around the Turtle Beach prices because you can't really see them usurping Turtle Beach off the mantle.
I very much.
But even then, you've got a couple of other people. Triton's another one that do make them as well.
There's a lot deeply bedded into that market.
But they do look very smart. They're kind of things that you would. Because it would be Bluetooth, so just as a normal pair of headphones. So
we'll see. There's usually some special twist on it. Right, so look, let's move on over to our roundup. This is basically where we just run to ground the trivial bounties of the week, the little ones. And, I guess first of all, it's probably commiserations, isn't it?
We're going to open up. I think we thought we've got to start including the missed bounty, the one that the one that didn't carry the full weight they needed.
Didn't get prize place on Hangman's
Well, I think it's just a case of neither of us were really interested in VR, so it didn't really. I think the headset trumped it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, so from one headset to another, I guess, in one way or another.
So it's been the Microsoft Build conference this week. So they've showed off some other loads of shit, but the most important thing that caught my eye was that they've showed off their motion controller for their mixed reality headsets.
Right, so for those of us, and I had to get some clarity on this earlier on, mixed reality in covering both VR and augmented reality?
Yes, so we're sort of think HoloLens with VR.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Obviously, this isn't Microsoft making a headset and then producing it as an Xbox One. They're doing the third-party vendor thing. So there's been a few others like Acer and all of that. So yeah, they've been showing that off. Couple of thumbsticks on it. Little couple of touchpads, so they're very similar to the Oculus and the Rift ones.
Well, I saw that, the Oculus, I mean, that thing's banging around for like $600, something like that?
Yeah, $700 I think it is all in, but I don't think that includes controllers.
I saw $598 with controllers.
With controllers, that's not bad.
The thumb ones,
Yeah. But the good thing with the Microsoft they're going for, there's no sensor tower, so the sensors are all in the headset. So it's just, hopefully if it can go wireless, fucking banging, then I'm interested in VR. Because going back to the whole, oh shit, that's the door, oh shit, that's my pizza in the oven.
Yeah.
And then he was found with his cord wrapped around his neck. The dangers of VR. I don't want to be a news story.
Penis in hand. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh God, just think if you were David Carradine in it.
No.
Porn.
No. Oh, sorry, you didn't. I thought you, right, yeah, just in some sort of movie. Yeah, I'm sure that'd be fine.
Yeah. Right, so, yeah, back to it. They are going to be shipping them this fall with the Ace RR VR headset and the controllers, $399. So that's pretty good. Pretty good value.
That's super cheap, isn't it?
You can get a dev kit this summer, ready to ship this summer. Check it out online. Go and fucking look on Microsoft's website.
A little bit cheaper as well, yeah?
Yeah, $300 for the Acer, and then HP are doing a unit at $329. But I'm assuming they won't include controllers because I don't think they'll be ready. But again, I'm sure you could just, if you're a dev, you could just fashion in some Oculus ones. They'll pretty much do the same thing, or representative enough. Acer's pretty tasty at that price point. Yeah. What else have we got? So, DICE have unveiled their new Battlefield 1 multiplayer map. Again, I'm sorry to the whole of France, but Prise des Tahur. So yeah, and they're obviously announcing that they're starting to switch to monthly updates. obviously to speed things along a bit,
Mhm.
hopefully churn some more interest up and get some more sales going. And do they do booster packs and loot boxes like COD do?
Of course they do.
Yeah, so they just want more of them.
Mhm.
Interesting one for me. Kinseed, new game from Pixel Couch Studios, which is a new studio formed in the wake of the Lionhead closures. So it's former Fable devs. They're making a multi-generation spanning RPG. So think Stardew meets Fable, or as I've got it written here, the promises that were Fable.
Right.
So
okay.
you've got raise a farm and a family. Your choices affect future generations, and then obviously when you die or pass on.
What are you going to grow, Daddy? I'm growing dirt.
Yeah, so you become your children, and then obviously the decisions you made as the parent.
Generations of famine.
Yeah, exactly. It could be, who knows? But it looks very interesting. It's a sort of top-down 2D. Looks very Mana-ish, which instantly caught my eye.
Cool.
They've currently got a Kickstarter running for that at the moment. So Kinseed, it's spelled Kynseed. Search that with Kickstarter, and I'm sure you'll find it. But it looks really good. So next, Diego Maradona. Obviously, a few weeks back, he announced he was suing Konami for their misrepresentation of his image or misappropriation of his image.
He was not a happy bunny.
No. When he saw that they're doing quite well,
Diego kicked off.
He kicked off. He put in a lawsuit. But now Konami and Diego have broken bread and are the bestest of friends.
Payoff. Sorry.
Yeah. So basically, I can only assume it's
Sorry.
over. Like one of the sort of cliched.
I've got
bags of swag, and he's walked out of the offices.
Caught in my throat. It sounds like a payoff. I don't know.
But so he's now got himself a new job as well.
Oh, what's he doing?
So he's now become a Pro Evolution Soccer ambassador. So essentially, they'll pay him when the new game's released, and they'll wheel him out. He might even be on the cover in all his glory. You never know.
So basically, what he's saying is when he was associated with that sports franchise, he had a major problem with it, and now he's their ambassador.
I just don't think that he's realised that they've been using his. I think it's actually because they've got his real name in it this time. I can't remember,
Right.
But it was laughable, and it was always going to go the way of the payoff. So. Yeah, that's the way it's become, and he's now friends, and they'll go linking arm in arm, laughing, cap in hand.
All of our listeners, just to consider one thing: whenever you see Diego Maradona in any way affiliated to Pro Evolution, just remember he hated it until they paid him not to. Okay.
Big one, Dynasty Warriors 9, going open world. So they're moving away from the structure of the big open levels to one giant big open world.
Wow. I mean, first things first, Dynasty Warriors, and this is just IMO, is fucking bollocks. It's a really shit game.
I think the first one was great. Because at the time, this was the first one, and there was, there's 100 enemies on screen.
Yeah,
and I can kick the shit out of them, and I'm waiting for 100 people, and they're gone now.
In the same way you'd say Battle Arena Shinden was an amazing game, but I'm sure if you went back and played it now, you'd be like, it's bollocks, because it's just the first 3D fightings.
Exactly.
But what I would say is these games are truly wank. So if there is something that you want to cobble together with duct tape, then it looks like a pretty easy formula to do it. But to jump from a level-based game design through to an open world one, it's quite a massive change in how you build your games.
Again, with our wonderful array of research that we do and how we cover our stories.
About who?
Exactly. I've looked into this all of, really.
Oh, right.
I've written it down. So I don't know if this is the only one or the first one that's dropped, because I'm pretty sure all of the previous ones have had to be on PS3 as well, because PS3 is still a fucking popular console in Japan that still sells games.
Yeah.
So, they still want to sell games. There's lots of people that have PS3s. Why not make it for PS3 as well? So it's kind of been held back.
Yeah.
For 4 years.
Not long enough.
So, it's a big change. Hopefully the fans will get to enjoy that, I think, come August. But good news though, Rhyme for the Nintendo Switch. Obviously there was the kerfuffle with it being $10 more.
Mm-hmm.
The digital copy will now cost you the same as the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One copies. Although the physical will be the same price as it was, so it will still be $40. That's getting an extra physical pack-in or something inside the box.
So basically they've been forcibly made to understand that a digital copy should be cheaper.
Yeah, well, the digital copy, they've got no fucking excuse for it to be $40.
Shame on you.
I can, like, if you turn around to me and say, unfortunately, we have to make this $40 because we have to make it on a cartridge. All right, mate, no worries. I understand that, but I understand that in 10 years, 15 years' time, I should still be able to play this cartridge, unlike a CD that will probably have got this weird white spot thing.
It's really
Loads of people who've been spending thousands covering old games.
It's really simple. You know how much it cost you to make the game because you had to make it before you could sell it. So, based on that alone, you know how many copies you have to sell to break even, and then how much profit you want to make. So your game should be based on how much it cost you and how long it took you to do it. And how well you sell should be the result of how much profit you make, not the methodology which is done these days. But hey, that's a utopian society, isn't it?
But, you know, this sets a good precedent, because hopefully everybody starts to realise that if you're going to do a multi-platform game, especially for indies, just chuck in like 30 cents worth of art cards, or even like a 50 cent item.
Leave
grading.
50 cent out of this.
Oh god, don't mention him in games.
No, don't.
His son will get involved and there'll be helicopters that chase you and little toy helicopters. Oh, it's weird. Anyway, we divulge. We divulge, but staying with the Switch, a study has shown, obviously talking about studies earlier, I thought it would be good to finally cap it off with another interesting one.
Good. Don't forget 87% statistics are made up there on the spot.
A study of 2,000 people have shown more people are interested in a Switch than a Scorpio or PS4. So of the 2,000 asked, 2,000 of ages 13 and up.
2,000.
So yeah, I don't know what it is with 2,000. They're like that Y2K.
I think you'll find they use 2,000 people 60% of the time, all the time.
It's probably the same 2,000 people. That's what it is. They've just rounded it all up and said, fuck it, let's just all just chuck our lot in together. We'll get 2,000 so we don't have to have a stupid 289.
They just trap 2,000 people.
We'll all chuck them $1.
Fire gaming questions at them until they submit.
But anyway, so 13% of people, of these 2,000 people, were interested in a PlayStation Pro or the upcoming Scorpio.
Good for them.
And then 15%, a mere 2% more of people, were interested in the Switch. Yeah.
Right, so, I mean, one, it's only 2%, but two, what I'd also like to just pepper on top of this is that it's not an even kill. One console is out there and is hard to get hold of at the moment. The other ones have not been clearly announced as to, you know, what's going on with the Scorpio or the PS5. So you're not really comparing.
Oh no, it wasn't the PS5, it's the PS Pro.
I know, but
so they upgraded.
Yeah, but it's
like most people. So have you got 4K telly? No, there's no fucking point then.
Yeah.
What could be HDR? Have you got HDR compatible screen? No, there's no fucking point then.
Yeah.
And even the Scorpio.
Anyway, we digress. Again.
So, but that was the roundup, and there's some funny little bits and bobs. There was plenty of other stuff to, I'm sure, if you yourselves want to go and find.
Yeah,
but I was cracking up. Diego Maradona, legend.
I just love the payoff.
He is a proper hustler.
Love the payoff.
He's like, yeah, I just threatened to sue and they'll pay me some money to go away.
No,
we'll pay you some money to stay, Diego.
Please stay. Oh, in that case, I love you guys. Cool, so there we are, folks. It's another wrap of the Bullet Bills Big Three. So, as always, I guess I ought to put it to Link. Adios, Link.
Adios, amigos.
And for me, it's Chabella.